Hey, it's your favorite DJ, Heidi Fly, and welcome to Heidi Fly with your airlines. We are live. I'm just going to do a quick sound check, you guys, and we'll get started. Okay, we are sounding good over here. You guys, welcome to another episode. Today, we are going to be talking about banned illegal interracial marriages, you guys. So feel free to leave your comments. Feel free. Good afternoon, Lynette. Got 15 minutes for lunch and finally catch my. Yes, awesome. So when you get a chance, catch the replay. We're just going to be talking about when it was illegal to marry outside of your own culture, you guys. I am going to turn my music down just a little bit. All right. Okay, you guys. So let's get started. I just love jazz, you guys. Do you like jazz? Leave me a comment below if you love jazz. And let me know different jazz artists that you guys might like. I would love to look up and listen to some of your faves. So you guys, let's talk about this. Interracial marriages. Okay. In February 1935, King County Representative Dorian Todd proposed House Bill number 301. Okay. This was a prohibition on marriages of persons of Caucasian ancestry to Negroes, Orientals, Malays, and persons of Eastern European extraction. Days earlier, King County Auditor Earl Milliken received a request for a marriage license from a Filipino man and a white woman. Resolved to prevent the interracial couple from wedding, Milliken denied the request. Soon after, then King County Prosecutor Warren Magnuson informed the auditor that there was no legal recourse to prevent the marriage. But Milliken was not to be dissuaded, claiming to speak on behalf of the concerns of parent, teacher, and women's organizations and pleading on a case of decency. Convinced Magnuson that something must be done, Magnuson in turn proposed the bill to Representative Todd, who carried the measure to the floor of the state legislature, where it was introduced. What began as an attempt to stop a single Filipino man from marrying a white woman had quickly evolved into a movement to separate all people into racial categories that would determine who they could and could not marry. But the breadth of the bill also helped mobilize and unite a broad constituency against it. Okay, the bill never went to a vote. It was tabled by the Committee on Public Morals. In response to the bill's introduction, Seattle's Black community forged the Colored Citizens Committee in opposition to the anti-interracial bill and chose veteran political leader Horace Caton Sr. as its spokesperson. The committee organized the combined efforts of Sound and Progressive Club, the NAACP, the Urban League, churches, the Communist League of Struggle for Negro Rights, which is the LSNR, the Filipino Community of Seattle Incorporated, the Washington Commonwealth Federation, and the Communist Party. The ongoing efforts of the Citizens Committee included lobbying efforts in Olympia and hosting protest meetings at the Phyllis Wheatley YWCA and First AME Church. In addition, the Citizens Committee received thousands of protest letters and telegrams, which were passed on to Olympia. In the Black Seattle, the efforts of the Colored Citizen Committee were backed by the community's major newspaper, and also the churches. In general, churches disseminated information regarding the issues to Seattle's Black population via their congregations. The Northwest Enterprise on both February 7th, 1935 and February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, 1935. Also, February 7th is actually my auntie mommy's birthday. So sweet. She raised me. Offered reports connecting the anti-miscegenation measure and the related churches and religious organizations working on the issues. Okay, you guys. So I want to also play an insert. I want to play a little video for you guys. Just showing you, it's a modern day clip of how things used to be back in the day. Also during 1935, efforts to block the anti-miscegenation legislation. The Northwest Enterprise covered two related nationwide stories on attempts to prevent interracial relationships, punctuating the importance of protecting the existing civil rights within Washington state. One of the articles, this was an extreme case, you guys. I want you to follow me. In one case, there was a guy by the name of Romeo. Now, I am going to post this picture for you guys real quick. I want you to see this ad as we talk about it. Okay, White Romeo. Okay, this is I'm going to give you a quick little backstory about White Romeo. Okay. In order to overcome discriminatory marriage laws, weeks after the introduction of the bill in Olympia, the paper reported on a white Romeo who had a pint of blood injected into his arm to defeat Georgia's law against intermarriage, which is interracial marriage. Following the injection, the man took an oath before authorities testifying that he did not have pure Caucasian blood, thus legalizing his marriage. The article goes on to inform readers that the Romeo, Dr. Fred Palmer, found good fortune in his life following this decision, that despite the forebodyings of his family and his white friends upon whom Dr. Palmer turned his back on, his marriage is recorded as having been highly successful. Furthermore, it reported that Dr. Palmer's business is also said to have prospered in spite of warnings that his marriage would ruin it. So you guys, back in the day, when you would mix race, especially in the African American community, it was very hard for you. People assumed that you would have bad luck. You would lose everything. You would go broke. Or you would eventually break up, or fatalities. Someone would die. You would find your husband, if he was black, hung, or you might find your wife, if she was black, hung. It was very dangerous to date outside your race, you guys. So I do believe that the people who did date outside their race, they did it for love. I don't think anyone would go through all the extreme measures that these people had to go through just to be with another race. You know what I'm saying? I honestly believe it was all in the name of love. Okay, moving right along. Now, this article went on to highlight the parallel between this case and a case from Chicago, where court officials attempted to prove the insanity of a woman based on the fact that she had married a black man. Can you believe that, you guys? They would question your sanity if you were a white woman and you married a black man, or vice versa. This is one incident of a man right here. His name is Saratus Kamayas. And this is an article that was posted where they were talking about him and his wife recently had a second child. Now, they also thought that this couple would not be successful because the Caucasian woman decided to marry a Black British African man. So basically, this is Certes, he's a banished chief of a British African tribe, and his white wife at the time, 28-year-old Ruth Williams, at Chipstead, England. News of the birth of their son was cabled to the Bamaga Wato tribe and expected to touch off traditional celebrations there. Certes, a law student at Chipstead, was banished from Africa. This was in 1948, last October. So October 1947, he was banished from Africa for his flagrant breach of tribal custom in marrying a white woman. Okay, you guys, so those are two different incidents. Okay. This interracial marriage stuff was definitely upsetting the masses, okay? They were not here for it, okay? So, moving right along, I'm going to cover a couple more points with you guys before we go on into the next couple that I want to talk about. Just going to cover just this little portion right here because I want you guys to understand how serious and how dangerous it was to be in an interracial relationship, regardless of if you were married or not, and how these couples often hid. They often lived separately. They, did a lot of things for their love. Okay. Okay. Much like the Northwest Enterprise, the Philippine American Chronicle reported on the inherent flaws of the anti-miscegenation bill. I want to make sure that I pronounce it correctly because a lot of these bills, I wasn't alive for. A lot of you guys wasn't alive for. And if you find that you wanted to research it, I really want to try to pronounce it correctly. So it's MISCEGENATION, Anti-Miscegenation Bill, and the leadership of this community in the fight against it. Early in 1935 legislative session, the paper carried an editorial. Intermarriage Dilemma, discussing the merits of intermarriage. Its author questioned the idea that intermarriage is fatal and points out that people have marriage. It's a lot of misspelled words on here, you guys. It's a lot of left out words. Its author questioned the idea that intermarriage is fatal and points out that people have marriage is a risky venture regardless of race. I'm just going to read it like it's written. One that individuals had freely joined for centuries. He contended that marriage should be determined by love as it always has been, arguing, as humans under the law of a supreme being, irrespective of race, color, or creed, we have the right to pick out our mates, whether she be sick, a white, or a colored one. Whether he be sick, a white, or a colored one, and nothing matters so long as both couple adore and understand one another. So you guys, I had to tell y'all that part. Now, it brings me to this other couple, you guys. This couple is called the Lovings. Okay, the Lovings also had a whole movie made after them. So if you guys haven't seen the movie Loving, thank you so much, Lynette, for your super chat. Thank you so much, beautiful. You guys, I'm sorry I'm not reading the chat, but I am going to read the chat before we end. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Lynette. So, you guys, Loving is a couple, okay? They are another couple that made a really serious impact on the world. Okay, few cases were more aptly named than Lovin. Okay, they were from Virginia, which pitted an interracial couple, a 17-year-old lady named Mildred Jeter, who was Black, and her childhood sweetheart, 23-year-old white construction worker Richard Lovin, against Virginia's miscegenation laws banning marriage between Blacks and whites. Often, okay, after marrying in Washington, D.C. and returning to their home state in 1958, the couple was charged with unlawful cohabitation and they were jailed. That's right. They were thrown in jail, you guys. They were thrown in the damn jailhouse. Okay. So as we talk about this couple, you guys, I am going to be posting different pictures of them and also pictures of their babies and different stuff like that, just to give you guys a little bit of visual, a little bit of, I mean, they just look like they really loved each other. I mean, they look so groovy together. They look cool. He always was like laying on her and posing on her like she was his partner, you know, like she was his girl, you know, that's my boo, that's my girl, you know. It was real, like, for me. You guys have to read the story. You guys have to see the movie. The movie is available. I think you can watch it on social media platforms. And it was coming to the big movie theater, but I think coronavirus kind of stopped that. Well, anyways, let's keep talking about this beautiful American couple that changed the world. Okay, so in 1958, the couple were jailed for unlawful cohabitation. The Lovings left Virginia. Well, the laws in Virginia were still very strict, where the laws had lightened up in different places. You guys, interracial marriages were illegal. Interracial marriages being illegal, that was banned in 1964. But the Jim Crow laws down in the South, it lasted to like they didn't let interracials marry until 1967. So they was still like being a bitch about it. So sorry about that. Let me get my tone back together. The Lovings left Virginia and went to live with relatives in Washington, D.C. When they returned to visit family 5 years later, they were arrested for traveling together. Inspired by the civil rights movement, Mildred Lovin wrote to Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy for help. The couple was referred to the ACLU, which represented them in the landmark Supreme Court case, Lovin, Virginia. The court ruled that state bans on interracial marriage were unconstitutional, and this was in 1967. Now, you guys, the Loving film, it is a film that celebrates the real-life courage and commitment of Richard and Mildred Loving, okay? And we are going to move right along from that. What I wanted to do, I wanted to show you guys, I wanted to show you a few pictures of their babies. These are their two sons and their daughter. I'm not sure if they had any more kids, you guys. Also, June 12th is National Loving Day. And Tia and her husband, Adam Housley, they posted this on their Instagram. June 12th is Loving Day, a celebration marking the day the Supreme Court struck down state bans against interracial marriage. The day is named for the monumental case, Loving v. Virginia. And that was because of these two monumental people who fell in love and changed history. Okay, you guys. So I wanted to show you guys this. Interracial bans in the South in 1964. 1966. Also, the clip is not planned right, but it also showed the year that gay marriages, the gay marriage ban was lifted also, but the clip isn't clicking all the way in. But I am glad that the interracial marriage ban part is. So this was in 1966, and as you guys notice, it's mostly in the South, the Jim Crow era. were just, they were the most tenacious about not having interracial marriages. Okay, you guys. So, some brave people back then. I don't know if I could have been strong enough to do it. I don't know, but I'm going to tell y'all, love is a very strong feeling. It's way stronger than evil. I'm going to tell you. Love is way stronger than evil. It's crazy. It is real. Now, moving right along, I want to show you guys a little clip of the Lovings and a little bit of introduction of how, I guess, an introduction of how it was back in the day when we tried to mix race marriage. Okay, guys, so let's pull up this clip. Give me 1 second. Mixed race marriage is illegal in the U.S. until 1964, but in the South until 1967. Okay, so let's enjoy this little clip real quick. And we will come back to our jazz. All right, you guys, here we go.
This case goes all the way back to 1691. At that time, the colony of Virginia said people of different races could not get married. Restrictions against interracial marriage remained in effect well into the 20th century. The restrictions did not prevent two Virginians, named Richard and Mildred, from falling in love. Richard's family was white. Mildred's was a mix. In 1958, Richard and Mildred went to Washington, D.C. Interracial marriage was legal there, and the couple wed. Then they returned to the small town in Virginia where they lived. 5 weeks later, police came into their house in the middle of the night and took them to jail. Richard and Mildred were ordered to leave Virginia. The couple settled in Washington, D.C. and had 3 children. But they missed their friends, family, and home. So they took their case to the Supreme Court. Richard's argument was simple. He said, "I love my wife, and it is just unfair that I can't live with her in Virginia." The justices all agreed. They struck down laws banning interracial marriage, saying the U.S. Constitution permitted individuals, not the state, to decide whom to marry. By the way, the couple's last name? Loving. The case is known as Loving versus Virginia.
I thought that was so beautiful, you guys. So I wanted to share that little moment with you guys as well. Also, guys, what I want to do is we cannot wrap this up. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, we cannot wrap this up without taking a little tour and checking out different interracial couples, you guys. So I am going to show you some interracial couples from back in the day, you guys. And we are going to read a little bit about them. And I just thought this was so groovy, okay? Sorry, guys, I just want to pull it up real quick. I'm going to pull up I want to pull up some pictures of Old school interracial couples, y'all, they are so fly and they are so cute. Thank you, XO Robinson. Yes, I watched this movie last week on HBO. Great movie. They had to do appeals and it was hard. Great live, Heidi. Thank you so much. You are absolutely right. Okay. So give me 1 second. Let me pull up my pictures and we will talk about these cool ass interracial couples, you guys. You gotta check this out. Okay, so we are going to look at these together. And we're going to talk about it. These are 19th century images of brave interracial couples, you guys. Okay. It's so crazy that people try to tell you who to love. And you know, the funny thing is, it's still like that to this day. People try to tell you who, you know, who you have the right and the not the right to love. Like, who do you think you are to tell me who I can love? So let's scroll through here and look at some of these amazing people. Okay, you guys, here we go. Now, y'all know whenever you come on these type of websites, they have all these cookies, all these pop-ups. They're constantly advertising, so forgive me for that. Okay, these are incredible images of interracial couples in the 19th century at a time when mixed race marriage was either taboo or simply prohibited by law. Posing together proudly, these extraordinary photos provide a rare glimpse into some of the mixed race couples in the 1800s and early 1900s who didn't let society's prejudices determine their life decisions. So boom, look how fly they are. Oh my God. Imagine a black man this fly being hung. I just don't understand it. Okay, this is Jack Johnson and his wife, Etta Terry Duryea, January 27, 1910. Jack was a successful boxer and a performer for theater companies. The Jack of all trades was married 3 times, each time to a white woman. Okay, that's what the thing says. I'm just going to read the thing. Now, I know to some people who still don't agree with interracial marriages and couples, this is probably going to rub you or be a sensitive topic for you. All I want to say to you is, listen, try love, okay? It's all about love, okay? So don't let this get to you like, oh, interracial ain't better. No, we're talking about this being illegal. We're not saying it's better. Whoever you love, that's who better. That's who you're supposed to be with. Whether you're in gay love, mixed love, same race love, whatever. You just bestiality. Don't be falling in love with no beast. Some of y'all be in love with your dog. Okay, so let's not talk about bestiality because I will come back with a video on that later. Okay, now moving right along. Don't be ignorant. People are people. It doesn't matter what their color is. Child, if you in love, honey. Okay, moving right along. Even through slavery, when abolished in 1865, mixed race marriages were prohibited by law in the years following the American Civil War. In southern and western states, like anti-miscegenation laws were enacted, which criminalized sexual relations and cohabitation between whites and non-whites. How you gonna tell somebody who to have sex with? How you gonna tell me what penis can go in or out of me? That's crazy. So you guys, this couple right here is Louis Gregory and Louisa Matthews Gregory. American man Louis Gregory and British woman met while in pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Egypt back in 1911. Okay, they met in Egypt, you guys. Moving right along, this is another couple. This is Gladys Aoki and Ganjiro Aoki. This is March 1909. Ganjiro was a Japanese American, whilst Gladys was Caucasian. The couple wed in Seattle on March 27, 1909, after traveling from California to Oregon, which prohibited mixed race marriages and declined to issue them a license. All right. Ooh, they look fly. Come up, come through. Come through in the Boosty A. Okay. This beautiful couple right here is Charles Meehan, a white Irishman, and Hester Meehan, who was born in Canada. A family historian said for Charles, it was just a natural thing to marry this woman who racially wasn't the same as him, but in every other way was the love of his life. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. They have little fun facts in between, you guys. Okay, this is an unidentified interracial couple seen posing happily on their wedding day. And this looks like an African-American woman and a Japanese man. Okay. It says, the Supreme Court ruled that all laws prohibiting interracial marriage were illegal and ending all race-based legal restrictions in the United States. Although interracial marriage was never prohibited in the United Kingdom, it was frowned upon by society until the 1960s. Wow, look at this couple. Okay. A Chinese man sits alongside his African wife in the 1900s. They are both proudly standing in their traditional gear. Wow. You see how opposites attract? I can see how opposites attract. I'm in an interracial relationship, but I'm just saying, even before any relationship I'm in, but I do understand how people who are different from each other can attract, because it's like, you get to be that culture and I get to be this culture, and you look at me and you see my culture, I look at you, and it's just, I don't know. This couple from South Texas posed together for a photo taken in 1900. The couple refused to allow the prejudice of society to keep them from being together. Beautiful. I think he's African and I think she's white. It doesn't really say. Oh, all right. So this is Samuel Taylor. Yes, Samuel was an English composer and conductor of mixed race heritage who was married to an English woman. Jessica's parents objected to the marriage because of Samuel's skin color, but eventually relented and attended the wedding. Samuel had a successful career touring America 3 times, and his daughter, Avril Coleridge Taylor, became a conductor-composer in her own right. So that's his beautiful family and his 2 kids. Samuel and Jessie Taylor. Okay, the next couple we have here is the Edwardian couple smile as they pose together on their wedding day in the 1900s. Okay. I wonder, is this the guy who owns the King Edward cigars? All right. Wow, you guys. Here is a couple in 1860. George Stevens, born in Mexico and whose mother was Spanish, came to Utah in 1860, where he met Lucinda Velate Flake as a square dance. In 1872, the pair married, but astonishingly, just 16 years later, such a union between the two races would be against Utah's laws. Can you believe that? So he's Spanish and she's African. I'm not sure if she's African American. So you guys, I'm just going to read what I see because I'm not sure if she's American, African American or not. You know, that can be confusing sometimes. Especially back in the day, you know, when they don't specify, when they, you know, really was like keeping us separate. So this is Mir and Alexandra Cohen and their baby Peter. Oh, that's so cute, Peter. Hey, Peter. Okay. This is in New Zealand in 1870. Intermarriage between Maori and Pakeha Normori, usually of British ethnic origin, was common from the early days of European settlement in New Zealand. The government encouraged intermarriage, which was seen as a means of civilizing Maori. However, many people disapproved. Oh, okay. So how cool. I never knew that, you guys. So in Britain, you know, in the early days in in New Zealand, they actually, you know, approved of interracial marrying. Wow. Yes, XO, every group have to fight. I'm here for the underdog. Amen. Shout out to XO Robinson. Wow. It's crazy. I just wanted to post that comment just for a little second. The interesting thing about these revolutionaries is that it wasn't for fame or status. Their lives were on the line for crossing these barriers. Exactly, XO Robinson. Yes. We're going to keep that up there for a second. All right. Now, this beautiful couple and their daughter. This is journalist George Schruler and wife Josephine Cogdell, who was a performer, sat at the table with their daughter. So they didn't get married. It looks like they don't share the same last name. George Schuler was a well-known left-wing journalist in the 1920s, and Josephine Cogdell was a model, actress, dancer who came from a rich former slave-owning family. Wow. So her family owned slaves, and she ended up marrying a Black man. Interesting. Interested in left-wing ideas, Kaya began writing back and forth with Schruler, whom she eventually traveled to New York to. And they later got married. When they married, Cogdell wrote on his marriage certificate that she was colored to avoid opposition. Wow. Wow. This is real love. Like you said, XO. It wasn't done for status or fame or to look like Nick Cannon once said that a white woman is a symbol of success. See, back then they weren't doing the shit as a symbol of success and fame and this and that. And that's the way I feel about my relationship. My relationship is about love. Period. Anybody I love them. And when I don't love them no more, I don't love them no more. And that's one thing that these beautiful people had in common. They were in love because they were in love. It wasn't for no type of financial gain or a big up in society. It didn't move them up in society. It actually made life worse for them. This is an unknown couple. They stand together in unity. It's believed that it was taken in 1910 here in America. Okay, this next beautiful couple is, okay, these are also a couple that are unknown. It's believed that this photo was taken in the 1900s. He looks a little Sicilian to me, but I don't know. Oh, and here's another couple. This is Joseph Philippe Lemercier and LaRoche with his wife Juliette and their two children, Marie and Louis. Joseph studied in France, where he became an engineer, but was unstable to get work because of a racist society. Joseph was one of the fatalities on the Titanic. You guys, this is the couple. They were known as the only Black couple on the Titanic. Wow, I'm blown away. I am blown away. If you go back into your research on the Titanic, even though they did not have this couple on the movie, this is the couple that was the only Black couple on the Titanic. That's crazy. Man, when you do research, you run into everything. So Joseph studied in France, where he became an engineer, but was unable to get work because of a racist society. They ended up traveling on the Titanic, making Joseph the only known Black passenger on the ill-fated voyage. On April 14, 1912, Joseph woke up Juliette to tell her that the ship had an accident. He and his wife carried their sleeping daughters to the top of the deck so the three of them could board a lifeboat. Joseph died in the sinking of the Titanic, and his body was never recovered. Wow. Okay, this is Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor from South Shields, not the Hollywood Elizabeth Taylor, in Tyneside, and husband Mohammed Hassan, a Yemeni national. It's believed the pair married in the 1920s. At the time, was disapproved, would have been high amongst the British public. Okay. I can't really tell what their identities are. I'm in Middle Eastern and white because of the name Mohammed Hassan. So I'm thinking Elizabeth Taylor is white and her husband is Middle Eastern. Yes, EXO. The kids and wife actually did survive. It doesn't say it on here, but I remember researching it. And someone actually interviewed the wife, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the kids, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, you guys. And this is Samuel Coleridge, Taylor's wife, Jessie Walmisley, and their two children. Okay. And y'all know Sidney Poitier was in all the interracial movies. Anytime there was a film and they wanted it to be interracial, they were going to call Sidney Poitier, baby. So this is the first kiss ever on the UK back in 1962. Let's look at that. If it decides to come up, we'll look at it. So this is the first ever interracial kiss on UK TV back in 1962. Let me push play again. Sorry, guys. Let's.
With boys, I was the one who had to do the running. So it was after something. You didn't come just when you wanted to have a bash. Perhaps that was what it was, and just didn't know how. Just that is
Okay. Okay. That was funny. And that's pretty much it, you guys, with that. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of float through and show you. You know, really, guys, that shit is really heavy. You know, that's some heavy shit. Some heavy, heavy shit. Okay. It's crazy. Boy, am I glad those days are over. Boy, am I glad those days are over. Well, anyways, you guys, that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you guys enjoyed our topic today. I hope I gave you guys a little bit of different content, a little bit of understanding. Wasn't that kiss hilarious? They looked like they were scared, even in the show, honey. They was like, "Bitch, we're gonna get shot." That kiss was weird and eerie. Crazy. It's crazy how life has changed, you guys. Yeah, so look, a lot of people fought so that we could love who we want to love. It's crazy. Thank you so much, Brooklyn Star. I want to encourage all of you guys to love who you want to love. You know, go for it. Give it a chance. You might not always find love in your race. You might find love outside your race. You might find love with the same, gender. However, it doesn't matter as long as y'all love each other. I'm telling you, that's what life is about. It's really all about love. Okay? So I want to encourage all of you guys to love. Don't walk away. Don't run away from love. And give love a chance. Okay? And with that being said, we are going to end this live. I thought it was going to be a whole hour. I'm so glad we ended. We have great timing right here, okay, you guys? We're 48 minutes in. And I'm going to tell you, I would have been on here earlier, but I got a piece of glass stuck in my foot. And then last night I was going to come on, but a bitch got tired, okay? And, between Prince and Josh, when nighttime falls, they need my full attention. They be looking for the doll, okay? So I've been eating a lot of leftovers from Father's Day. I hope you guys did too. I hope you guys enjoyed your Father's Day. I'm probably going to do a leftover crab leg mukbang later for all the people who love to see me eat king crab legs, okay? Yes, I fuck with you, so I fuck with what's important to you and your content. Love is love, gender, sex, religion, nationality, or creed. The food fight. Amen. Amen. XO Robinson. And thank you for being a new subscriber. Thank everybody in here. Please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and share this damn video. Okay? And leave me a comment. If you have anything you want to ask me, if you're curious about anything, if you want to know my struggles, if I have any struggles, what's going on, I will be down to tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. You guys know by now, Heidi don't really run away from nothing, okay? It's not much that I'm going to run from. I like to confront it head on. Let's talk about it, We're not going to run from this shit, okay? We're going to talk about it. Now look, no matter what you do, take Christ with you and you will make it out. And I want you to holler at your girl because I'll be sure to rock your planet. I'll see you guys later. My next episode is going to be part 2 of Black Fortunes. We are going to be covering Black Fortunes, the Black elite, Black wealth. You guys know that I like to talk about prosperity. I like to talk about financial gain and building wealth. So if you too are one of those type of people, you're really going to enjoy my lives. You're going to enjoy coming over here with Heidi Flaucci because I'm going to be giving you tips. I'm going to be just really, breaking things down. I'm going to be teaching you your history, letting you know all of your ancestors who have found financial freedom. All right, give me a second, guys. As well. And I don't want you guys to be afraid of trying to build wealth, building wealth, being financially secure. That is nothing to be ashamed of. Like, that has definitely been something that in our community, like, People literally, you think you only, you think you got this, like, it's not about that. Like, do not be ashamed of wanting more in life. In 2020, we all should be trying to build some wealth for those to come, okay? For the ones behind us, okay? And I want to give a shout out to everyone who has been starting their business, everyone who's promoting their businesses. Also, real quick, you guys, you know what? I don't want to bring that up on here, but I will anyway, since we're here. I am going to be doing a website, you guys. And the website is, I'm only going to take about 50 to 60 people. It's going to be 50 or 60 people. I am going to create a website. Let me pull up the picture real quick. Let's pull this up real quick. I'm only going to take 50 to 60 people. I have created this new thing where it's called Let's Stunt on the Economy, creating the new millennium Black Wall Street, meaning us Black people, whatever you're building out there. I am going to extend my net worth work to you, my subscribers, my friends, my supporters. I'm going to create a website, and it's going to have 50 to 60 people where I'm going to promote it, and people can come over. It's a one-stop shop where you can find goods and products from different people that are African American. It's going to be one website. You can look at these people, they'll have their profile, and then you'll be able to click onto their link and go straight to their store. It's going to be a small fee. I think it's going to be $25 a month. If you don't do it every month, that's fine. Whenever you don't pay, I will replace you with a different CEO, a different entrepreneur of African American culture. So stay tuned for that, guys. And if you want to be a part of that, we will be talking about that during Black Wealth. Yeah, it's going to be $25 a month. I'm thinking $25 a month. I'm only going to take about 60 people, 50 to 60 people. And we're all going to be on one website. We all going to promote it. I'm going to promote it. And we're going to watch our business grow. We are going to try to build true wealth in the African American community, you guys. Like, people talk about it. I want to be about it. I want to be about that action. Let's buy Black all year long and beyond. It's not that you don't, I'm not saying don't buy other people's products. I'm just saying don't forget to buy Black as well. You might buy your Gucci, but buy your Flyucci. You see what I'm saying? You might buy, whatever white brands that you buy from, which is literally everything in the fucking world, because they got so many years upon us. You know what I'm saying? They're like I feel like they're 1,000 years ahead of us, because I feel like we've been enslaved way longer I'm tired of people saying 400, 500 years. We've been saying that for a long fucking time now. I feel like these people got at least 7 to 1,000 years up on us. So this is a great way for our community to come together and for us to support Black brands while also supporting other cultural brands too as well. I have no problem with that. I'm all for the support all the way around the board. But Let's Stunt on the Economy is going to be a website strictly with African American entrepreneurs and their businesses and their links. And we're going to promote it strong. It's going to be promoted on my Instagram, on my YouTube. We're going to try to get some money going, baby. Okay, we're going to try to get some money starting to generate. I already know. I know a lady who's into insurance. She works for State Farm, African-American woman. I know this African-American real estate broker. I know a few people. So I am going to definitely, my network is going to be on there first, because I'm going to hit them up ASAP. So anybody on YouTube that for the leftover slots and you want to get your business onto this big website, Let's Stunt on the Economy, make sure you be one of the first to get your shit out there. It's going to be $25 a month. Your profile, talk about your products, and your link will be on one website called Stunt on the Economy. Okay, you guys. So that's all I got for y'all. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, I think I'm going to be doing the Black Elite later on tonight. If not, we'll definitely be doing it tomorrow. But I will put up, a time slot for you guys so you'll know. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, XO. They still are creations. They're beyond in saving in economics though. Yes. Amen. Thank you. Hey everybody. Hey beautiful purple kitten. God bless you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I noticed that my flyer got me. My flyer guy got me on that. We'll fix it though. Okay, guys. So I will talk to y'all later.